What up, y'all? So this time around, let's talk about most likely to be a counselor. Um, Now, with this, it's more than just being into psychology. Being a counselor, you got to be good at listening to people. You got to be mostly supportive. You got to be um, good at delving deep into other people's like emotions and stuff like that, along with understanding people. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting. Not every type is going to be the best at this, even if they are. Like, let's say in psychology, into psychology, it takes more than that. I think, in my opinion, to just being into psychology. You know, you have to have certain tools that can't be taught. That kind of like you naturally are good at, or as far as like dealing with people and stuff like that. And but yeah, anyways, let's get to it. So, got me a tier list right here. Of course, we got S, A, B, C, and D. Now, I'm using a different one than I've used in the past. They had the ones that had E and F on it, but it's like that's too many categories. We only got 16 to choose from. I feel like five is okay. Um, that's pretty evened out. So, anyways, let's get to it. So, first type, ENFJs. ENFJs. So, as far as them being counselors, I think they actually make pretty great counselors. It's actually a pretty common profession for ENFJs. So, thing with ENFJs, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm kind of joking, but like ENFJs, they kind of nosy and shit. So it's like they kind of like delving into people's like thoughts, and they probably wish ENFJs probably wish that they could read people's mind because they kind of nosy. They want to know what other people are thinking. But the thing is, they got NI and they got FE. So NI, with NI, they are able to delve deep into like your emotions and things like that. And then FE is of course is going to be picking up on your emotions and like as they talking to you and stuff like that. And with NI, they're able to delve deep and unravel layers and stuff like that, as far as like your psychology and things about you. Also, my mom's an ENFJ. She's a counselor. They tend to like being counselor. This is like one of their number one professions. So I say they go S tier right off the bat. Um, okay, ENFPs. ENFPs, it's kind of similar, but of course they got a different function stack. ENFPs got NE and then they got FI. So with FI is great for about, FI doesn't always need a ton of like emotional feedback for it to understand other people's emotions and things like that. And it's also great for delving deep into people's emotions. And then NE, they got the NE, so they can also think about possibilities and like how somebody else possibly is feeling based on things that they're being told and stuff like that. So they can be pretty great at understanding people's emotions and helping them work through their emotions and things like that. Because like with FI has a great understanding of emotions in general. It's like because they are so in touch with their own emotions, it also translates to them. Like the first thing about understanding people, you have to understand yourself first. So in this case, when it comes to emotions, they understand their own emotions so well that it makes it so that they understand other people's emotions very well. Then with NE, they can draw up so many different possible conclusions to that as well. So really, that go. I did say they go S tier. Oops, S tier. Yeah. All right. ENTJ. Now ENTJs. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're TE dom, so it's like they don't really got the patience. I don't think to be well. I wouldn't say they don't have the patience, but it's not really. I don't think it would be their strong suit. I'm not saying they'll be bad at it, but I don't think they have enough like I almost want to say compassion, but they're not. It's not that they're not compassionate people, but when it comes to setting like counseling, I don't know because they more so will give you solutions. I feel like to solve your problems, which is good for counseling, but like they're not necessarily like they'll listen to you, but I don't. They're not necessarily the best at working you through your emotions necessarily like that. Um, Now they help you solve problems, and they'll help you. I tell you, ENTJs will help you out. They're great at helping people. They're very generous and things like that. Like they'll help you um, with things you're struggling with. But as far as like working through those emotions with you, they're not necessarily built for it. Um, Maybe D tier. I ain't gonna lie to you. They got low FI. Their lowest function is feeling. So D tier is pretty much pretty good. ENTPs. No, ENTPs. they're thinkers. Now they got the tertiary FE, they got NE, then they got TI. I think they can do an okay job at understanding people's emotions and helping them through it a little bit, but I don't think it's really their strong suit as far as a profession. Um, I'm just trying to think. ENTPs, I think they could probably draw a lot of conclusions, but they're not going to have that same tool set as like ENFP or ENFJ. I'm going to say they probably will go C tier. Yeah, C is fine. ESFJs. So ESFJs, they might be good at. They're not so much. Thing is with them being sensors, like they're fillers. Fillers are great for like standing in with for others emotionally and things like that. But as far as them being able to work through it, they're not going to work through it as well as an intuitive will, but they can still be okay at helping people through their emotions. But they most are just going to help you out. I know I said that about the ENTJ, but really helping people out is very much more of an ESFJ thing than the ENTJ thing. But they also can sit with others emotionally simply because they're fillers and things like that. But the thing is that they're going to lack is that depth, the level of depth that maybe an intuitive would have. You know what I'm saying? The NF, they don't have that same level of depth. So I say they kind of go B tier. Not bad, not great either. Kind of down the middle. They do a better job than a lot of thinker types, put it like that. ESFP. I've known a couple of ESFPs who were counselors and things like that. Um, Now it's kind of similar to the ESFJ in a way. ESFPs, although they do have great people skills, so that can help them work through people's. They actually not bad at working helping others work through their emotions. They might not sit as long with you as an ENFP though. That's one thing about it. They might not sit as long with you about it, but they do. They can help. They are very capable of it with that introverted feeling. Um, let's see. I say maybe they can go A tier because I've known a couple ESFP counselors, but there's not like a ton of them that said, but they could be decent at it. The only thing is lacking like maybe a little depth as far as it. Um, yeah, but they can't be quite understanding. They're not quite as understanding as like the ENFP, but like they're honestly they might go bottom. It's really hard. It's nah A tier is fine. I'm thinking B maybe, but yeah, ESTJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they're really suited for it. ECJs, they don't have. They're kind of insensitive in a way when it comes to stuff like that. Um, they are good at giving tough love, but they're not necessarily good at like being gentler and helping people through their emotions. But I think they can excel at giving tough love. So I'm gonna have to put them D tier because they're not suited for it. ECPs, uh, ECPs, the only problem they have is they wouldn't have the patience to sit people through their emotions, and they don't have quite as much empathy. To be honest with you, um, now I think if they really tried, they could be okay at it, but I don't think they would care enough to be good at it. So let's put them. I'm gonna say C or D. Honestly, I do want to say D. Let's just say D tier. Maybe a little better than the ECJs. I'm trying to. Okay. Anyways, INFJ. So with INFJs, very similar to the ENFJ with as far as going delving deep into other people's emotions and things like that and helping people work through it. Mm-hmm. They would definitely be able to be good at stuff like that. I think they have more ability to go deeper than the ENFJ as well with that. Um, they'll probably go a little bit deeper and they'll probably be a little better at maybe even knowing how you feel without you having to tell them than an ENFJ. But they still need that feedback. FE users need a little feedback for them to know how you feel too. But INFJ is gonna go S tier for sure, right off the bat. INFP, very similar to the ENFP. I would say they maybe go at the bottom of the S tier though, but they up there. So let me rank the S tier real quick. Number one, it's really hard to say honestly. It's really a toss up between all four right now. But anyways, next INTJ. INTJ, they help people work through their stuff by listening to them. I say mostly. They can come off kind of cold and like they don't care in a way, but they care more than you think they do. Now, as far as counseling, I think they could do an okay job. I'll say maybe C tier for them. INTPs, um, they might not be the best suited as far as getting involved and helping people through their emotions. Great listeners, though. If you need somebody to vent to, I'm pretty sure they'll listen to you, but they might have to go pretty low on that list. ISFJ, I think they can help you work their emotions. They're probably up there with the ESFJ. They're about even with them, I think. Not too bad at it, but not too good either. I say they could probably go B tier, honestly. They can, like I said, they might like the depth that an intuitive filler would have, like an INFJ. They're going to like that depth, but they can do it. They can definitely sit with people and help them through their emotions. But I think there's a level of depth that you need to be a great counselor. That's the thing that's holding them back. ISFP are very great at understanding people deeply with that dominant FI and stuff like that. And they have a lot of patience with their FI too. They can help people sit through their emotions and things like that. I think they can go maybe A tier. I think they can be pretty good counselors. Maybe not the best, but I think they could be good at counseling maybe youth, like younger people, because they can be relatable to younger people and things like that. Because like extroverted sensitive is kind of for the here and now. Same with ESFPs, I think they would value. It would be great at the youth counseling probably. Like that's what they select the most probably. ICJs care more than you probably think. But that's super into efficiency and things like that. They might not make the best counselors, honestly, but they'll be there for you. They're super loyal people, though. ICJs are loyal. When they on your side, they'll die with you, type of thing. Um, let's just say, oops. Let's say C. Oops. Let's say C. ISTP, my type. Now the thing with my type is, okay, like I'm into psychology, right? I think I could do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I could do that well at it because I don't have the emotional I don't know how to be emotionally supportive all the time and listen to people. Like I listen. I'm a great listener. I help by listening and I come with solutions. I'm not the best. I don't always know what to say. If somebody start crying in front of me, I'm not gonna know what to say to you to comfort you. To be honest with you. Um, I'm not the best at things like that. It's not something I'm intentionally trying to do. I try my best to help, but I'm just not good at comforting people when they crying or because that probably would happen in a session, a counseling session or something. Or I don't always know the best thing to say to make somebody feel better, and things like that. We're not the most sentimental and stuff like that. That's one thing like we might not be the best at. We would go D tier and be honest with you. We're not best suited. Now I am into psychology and I can understand psychology very well. We can understand stuff like psychology pretty damn well, but as far as being a counselor, that's a whole other thing. I think we can make good psychologists, maybe, but counseling, I don't think so. We should be 100% honest with you. We're good at a lot of things, but that might be one thing we're not the best at. I'll leave that for the NFs, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, thanks for checking it out. Stay tuned for more. I'm gonna come with some more tier lists soon, but yeah, thanks guys.